Dear aspirants, welcome to my channel. This is a model question paper 1. Subject name is Elements of Automobile Engineering. Subject code is 25AT11I. This is Automobile Engineering, first semester. So MCQs. See here, which of the following an advantage of two-stroke engine? So option C, high power to weight ratio will be an answer for. Next is what is the compressed during the compression stroke in a four-stroke CI is a compression ignition engine. Answer will be an option B, air only. So what is the compression ratio of IC engine? So option B, the ratio of total volume to the total clearance volume, nothing but total volume of piston at a BDC diagram to clearance volume of piston as TDC. Which of the following body construction type, both body and the frame integrated, that is called unitary body or Monaco will be an answer, option A. Next is extrusion is particularly well suited for producing, option B, long parts with uniform cross section. Okay. Next, what is the fundamental principle of forging process? So answer will be an option B, shaping metal by applying compressive force using a hammer or press. Next is what is the primary function of thrust bearing? Answer is option A. It is used to support loads acting along the axis of rotation. The next question, which power transmission system is best suited for the applications require a large speed ratio in a compact space with high efficiency and positive drive? Answer option B, gear drives. What is the primary function of splines in an automotive application? Answer will be in option A, to transmit torque from the transmission to the drive shaft, okay, while allowing for axial movement due to a suspension travel. So what is the characteristics of an unprotected type flange coupling regarding its construction? So which we can use it for option A, the coupling bolts and nuts are exposed. Next is what is distinguished features of an ACME thread compared to the square thread? Option D, it has 29-degree included angle with a flange will be an answer. Which of the following applications is most suitable for brazing? Option B, joining a dissimilar metals that cannot be easily welded, such as copper to steel. Next, which type of the joint characterized by two plate placing end to end and join one or two cover plate riveted to the both the main plate, that we call it as an option B, butt joint will be an answer. Next is which type of composite material typically consists of strong fiber embedded in polymer matrix? So option C, polymer matrix composite, that we call it as a PMC. Next, which of the following is a fundamental unit of CGS system? So option A is a centimeter. So next will be an fill in the blanks. So we have answers they given above here only, but they given questions down. We have to fill appropriate answer. What answer will be matching for the given questions? Meter, kilogram and seconds are a primary unit system used in a MKS system. That is answer will be an MKS. Next will be in ferrous materials are characterized by dash and their chief constituent, that is we call it as an iron will be an answer for this. Next will be square threads are most commonly employed in application requiring efficient option dash such leads screw jocket, that we call it as an power. Next will dash is the distance between center line to front wheel, that is we call it as a track. Dash is the ratio between the total volume to the clearance volume, that we call it as a compression ratio will be an answer for this. So we'll move on to model question paper 2 MCQ. Next is model question paper 2 Name is Elements of Automobile Engineering. Subject code is 25AT11I. So MCQs. Next is, what is the unit of pressure in SI system? So option A is will be in Pascal, will be in a unit for the pressure. So which of the following is a ferrous material? So cast iron will be an ferrous material. See, which of the following common application of copper? So application, we are using electrical wires, we are using a copper. Next is thermoset. Plastic is also known for their option C, excellent dimensional stability at a high temperature. Next, which of the following is an example of temporary fastener? So option C, nut and bolt. Next is, which of the following is an example of common type of composite material? What is a common type of composite material? Okay. Answer is copper fiber reinforced polymer, that we call it as an CFRP, in a lap joint created by riveting. Okay. How are the two plates positioned? So option B, one plate partially overlap each other. Partially it will be overlap each other will be. Which thread from known as, okay, for its stability to transmit power efficiency and is commonly used to lead screws and vice. So option D, that is we call it as a square thread we are using. Next, with a type of screw fastening that create its own matting thread is untapped hole, known as option D, self-trapping screw. In a construction of tapered sunki, what is the purpose of its tapering? So option D, to ensure a tight fit and prevent the relative motion between the shaft hub due to welding action. So what is the primary function of shaft in a mechanical system? Option D, to transmit torque and often bending moment while supporting rotating the machine element like a gear and pulleys. Next, what is the primary need for using bearings in a mechanical system? So option D, to support loads and allow relative motion between the parts with a minimum friction. Next is, what is the primary purpose of pattern in the casting process? So option A, to create hollow space in the mold that molten metals with fill. Next is, ground clearance in a vehicle refers to a distance between option D, the lowest point of the vehicle or a body, and the ground. 15th, which of the following component is not the four-stroke engine? That is option B, is a transfer port, is not a four-stroke engine. Next will be an fill in the blanks. There is given answers. So question has given the unit for weight in the FPS system, that we call it as an answer will be an pound. In a steel is a example for dash type of material, that is we call it as an ferrous. Next is dash is a type of plastic which cannot be recycled, that is thermoset. Dash is the type of drive which transmit maximum torque, that is called to gear drive. The power produced by the four-stroke engine dash than two-stroke engine. It is less than the two-stroke engine, less than the answer. So we'll move on to model question paper. This is model question paper 3. Subject name is Elements of Automobile Engineering. Subject code is 25AT11I. So MCQs question, part A MCQ question. So which of the following is a derived unit? We are going to derive, that is we call it as a Newton will be a derived unit. What is FPS unit for force? That is pound force, that will be an answer option. Next is, what is the key property of cast iron? Option B, it is having high compressive strength. So what is the primary alloying elements in stainless steel? Option C is called chromium. A defining property of most common type of the glass, option C, amorphous or non-crystalline atomic structure. Option C will be. Which of the following is the characteristics property of traditional ceramics? What is the traditional characteristics of ceramics? Option C, high hardness and brittleness. Which of the following is an example for temporary fastener? That is option C, nut and bolt. A common application of soldering is option C, assembling electronic components on printed circuit boards. Which type of locking method relies on the deformation of the washers to maintain tension? Option C, spring washer or split lock washer. What is distinguished feature of a CME thread compared to the square thread? Option D, it is a 29-degree include angle between the flanks. What is the temporary function of spline in an automotive application? Option A, to transmit torque from the transmission to the drive shaft while allowing for axial moment due to the suspension trap. What is the primary advantage of chain drive over a belt drive? So option C, it can transmit power with a positive engagement and no slip. So which of the most suitable casting process to produce engine cylinder liners? Option B, centrifugal casting. Which term describes the distance from the center of the rear wheel to outermost point of the rear wheel vehicle? Option D, front overhang. Which of the following is an advantage of two-stroke engine over a four-stroke engine? Option C, better mechanical efficiency. Next will be an fill in the blanks. The four-stroke engine takes dash strokes for one power stroke, that is called four numbers. M2 is a unit for area in dash unit system, that is we call it as an MK system. So M2, it is not M2, it is an M square it is. Third, the brass is a mixture of copper and dash metal, that we call it as dash is called as the lowest print of the vehicle to the ground, that is we call it as a ground clearance. The expansion of CFRP composite material, that is called carbon fiber reinforced plastic, will be an answer. If the content is useful, please subscribe my channel, share and support. Thank you.